Hello everyone, you are on the channel Who Created It and How. Today, we're diving into a topic we use every single day but rarely think about. How did our ancestors count the days? Before smartphones and digital calendars, how did humanity keep track of time? Let's travel back to the very beginning. Early humans didn't need a detailed calendar. Their lives were guided by the natural world, the rising and setting of the sun, the changing seasons. The sun's daily cycle was the most obvious marker. Sunrise meant a new day to hunt, gather, and work. Sunset meant it was time to rest and seek shelter. This was the first, most fundamental unit of time, the day. But simply counting day after day wasn't enough to plan for the future. Soon, another celestial body captured their attention. The moon. Our ancestors noticed the moon changed its shape in a predictable pattern. From a sliver to a full, glowing orb and back again. This cycle, from one new moon to the next, takes about 29.5 days. This became the basis for the month. It was incredibly useful. You could count how many moons had passed since a major flood, or predict how many moons until the cold season would arrive. Many early cultures, like the ancient Babylonians and Hebrews, developed lunar calendars based entirely on the moon's phases. This was a huge step forward, but it wasn't perfect. The problem with a purely lunar calendar is that it doesn't quite line up with the seasons. A year of 12 lunar months is about 354 days long, but a solar year, the time it takes for Earth to orbit the Sun, is about 365 days. That's an 11-day difference. After just a few years, a lunar calendar would be completely out of sync with the seasons. Imagine celebrating a summer festival in the middle of winter. This was a big problem for agricultural societies. Farmers needed to know the right time to plant their crops and when to harvest them. Planting too early or too late could mean a failed harvest and starvation. They needed a calendar that matched the seasons, and the seasons are governed by the sun. This led to the development of solar calendars. The ancient Egyptians were masters of this. They noticed that the star Sirius would appear on the eastern horizon just before sunrise, right around the time the Nile River began its annual flood. This flood was essential for their agriculture. They counted the days between each appearance of Sirius and found it was consistently 365 days. So they created a calendar with 365 days, divided into 12 months of 30 days each. What about the extra 5 days? They simply added them at the end of the year as a special period for holidays and festivals. This was a brilliant system and one of the first truly accurate solar calendars. It was so effective that it allowed them to plan their farming, their religious ceremonies, and the entire administration of their empire with remarkable precision. But even the Egyptian calendar had a tiny flaw. A true solar year is actually about 365.25 days long. That quarter of a day might not seem like much, but over time, it adds up. Every 4 years, the calendar would be off by a full day. Over a century, it would be off by almost a month. The seasons would start to drift again. This is where the Romans come in. Julius Caesar, advised by the astronomer Sosigenes, decided to reform the calendar in 46 BC. He kept the 365-day year, but added a solution for that extra quarter day. Every 4 years, an extra day would be added to the calendar to keep it in sync with the sun. This is the origin of our leap year, and the extra day was added to February. This new system was called the Julian calendar, named after Caesar himself. It was a massive improvement and was used throughout the Roman Empire and Europe for over 1600 years. It's the foundation of the calendar we still use today. However, the Julian calendar wasn't perfect either. Sosigenes had estimated the solar year to be exactly 365.25 days long, but the actual length is slightly shorter, about 365.2425 days. This is a tiny difference of about 11 minutes per year. It's so small you wouldn't notice it in your lifetime. But over centuries, those 11 minutes add up. By the 16th century, the Julian calendar was off by about 10 days. The spring equinox, which should have been around March 21st, was happening around March 11th on the calendar. This was a big deal for the Catholic Church, as the date of Easter is calculated based on the spring equinox. An inaccurate calendar meant Easter was being celebrated at the wrong time. So in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced another reform. To fix the accumulated error, he decreed that 10 days would be skipped. The day after October 4th, 1582, was not October 5th, it was October 15th. People literally went to sleep on a Thursday and woke up on a Friday 10 days later. To prevent this problem from happening again, the new Gregorian calendar adjusted the leap year rule. A year is a leap year if it is divisible by 4, except for end of century years, which must be divisible by 400. So the year 2000 was a leap year, but 1900 was not, and 2100 will not be either. This subtle tweak makes the Gregorian calendar incredibly accurate. It's so precise that it's only off by 1 day every 3,300 years. This is the calendar that most of the world uses today. Of course, not every culture followed this exact path. The Chinese calendar, for example, is a fascinating lunisolar calendar. It tracks both the moon's phases and the sun's position. It has 12 months, but an extra month is added every 2 or 3 years to keep it aligned with the seasons. This is why Chinese New Year falls on a different date each year in the Gregorian calendar. Similarly, the Islamic calendar is a purely lunar one, which is why Islamic holidays like Ramadan move through the seasons over a 33-year cycle. So what about the 7-day week? Its origin is a bit more mysterious and is not directly tied to any astronomical cycle. Many scholars believe it originated with the ancient Babylonians, who held the number 7 as sacred. They observed 7 celestial bodies: the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. They named the days of the week after these celestial bodies, a tradition that influenced many cultures, including the Romans. We can still see these echoes in our modern languages. Sunday is the sun's day, Monday is the moon's day. In French, Tuesday is mardi for Mars, and Wednesday is mercredi for Mercury. It's fascinating to see how our understanding of the cosmos shaped our understanding of time. From simply watching the sun rise and set, to observing the moon's cycles, to precisely measuring the Earth's orbit, our methods for counting the days have evolved alongside our civilization. Every time you check your calendar, you're looking at a piece of history, a product of thousands of years of astronomy, mathematics, and cultural innovation. It's a testament to our human desire to understand our place in the universe and to bring order to our lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed learning about how we count the days, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Who Created It and How for more stories about the amazing inventions that shape our world. Let us know in the comments what you'd like us to explore next. See you in the next video.